Hello ladies, how are we doing? Welcome back to my channel. So earlier this week I was watching Culinary Class Wars, which is on Netflix. So 2 new episodes came out this week of season 2, and there's one particular challenge that was on episode 11 where I was like, I need to do a video on this. I saw such a good example of what being plugged in looks like, ignoring your 3D when there's such immense contrast in your external reality, and then being able to completely supersede all of that and what everyone else is doing and then coming on top. So I had to create a video on this, especially for you ladies who love Netflix as much as I do and love all the Korean TV series on Netflix, and who may be also watching Culinary Class Wars, or now you're gonna start watching Culinary Class Wars because it's really good. So in my last YouTube video that I posted, Newtonian time versus Einstein time, so if you haven't watched that, I highly recommend to watch that as well because it relates a lot to this video. If you haven't watched season 2, the latest episode of season 2 of Culinary Class Wars, I highly recommend to watch that first before you watch this video, especially if you've been following along, because there will be spoilers on here and I'll be sharing video snippets. So in this particular episode, there are 7 last remaining semi-finalists, and the challenge was called Infinite Cooking Heaven Challenge. So this is where the contestant had 3 hours to cook as many dishes as they want with 0 ingredient limits. So they had access to everything that they could imagine. So all the premium meats, all the seafood, all the produce, all the seasonings, everything a chef could possibly want or need. The rules are they could use the entire 3 hours to present just one dish, or they could cook and present multiple dishes within the 3 hours. And each dish will be judged immediately after completion, after they ding the bell. And then they'll be given a score from the 2 judges. So each judge could give 100 points each. So the highest score possible is 200 points given in total. So the goal was to score as high as possible, and only the best score will advance to the finale. So for example, you can take 30 minutes to cook your first dish, present it, score 180 points, right? You're in first place. But then the next chef could present after you, get a better score than you, 185 for example, and then will be in first place. So within the 3 hours, at any time, any contestant can take first place. So 5 out of the 7 contestants' strategy was to cook multiple dishes and to try to get the highest score from their multi-dish ideas. And throughout this video, I'm going to attempt to pronounce all of the Korean names. So apologies if you are Korean and you are watching this and I'm not pronouncing them right at all. So Im Seong-kyun presented 5 dishes throughout the whole 3 hours. So he was running around, he was sweating, he was chopping so fast, cooking super fast, right? He had the quantity focused strategy. So on camera, he actually says he plans to make as many quick dishes as he can, as fast as he can, because there are no guarantees in this open-ended battle, and one excellent plate may not be enough to secure the highest score. So his belief is that speed and quantity can increase his chances of hitting a high score. And the other 4, Culinary Master Jung Ho Young, Venerable Sanjay, Ho Deok Juk, also did the same. They all created multiple dishes within the 3 hours. And you know what is interesting, ladies? The 5 contestants that presented multiple dishes during the 3 hours trying to get the highest score, their scores turned out mostly mid to high mids. None of them really got a really great score because they ended up rushing, not really paying attention to detail. They were already thinking about the next dish that they wanted to cook, planning their next dish, not really focused on making that one current dish the best dish that they have ever created to get the highest score. So they were already assuming, they were already expecting that their dish is not going to be good enough to stay at the top of the leaderboard. Right? Do you see where I'm going with this? And on the other hand, Brewmaster Yun and Choi Kang-rook, they both put their heads down. They were only focused on what they were doing. They were intentional about their one dish. Both of them took the entire 3 hours to prepare one dish. Whereas they saw the majority of the other contestants, the 5 other contestants, dinging the bells over and over again to present their multiple dishes. So it's like seeing everyone around you doing the complete opposite. And on surface level, it could give you the impression that they are in front of you. They're doing better than you. They're way ahead of you. But Brewmaster Yun and Choi Kang-ruk, they were plugged in. They did not let their 3D deceive them. They were plugged into God, their source, their power. They believed in their gifts. They were in flow with what they were put on this earth to do. So I'm going to play you some clips, and this is from Choi Kang-ruk.
Every time I heard the bell, it sort of rattled me a bit. Like, should I present? But then I'd think, stop worrying about everyone. Just go at your own pace. Just focus on one dish. You've got 3 hours. Chill out.
Now, how many of you ladies can resonate this in the manifestation world? Right? Chill the F out. Right? Stop frantically doing all the things, worrying, stressing, checking your 3D. Just enjoy the process. Don't worry about the contrast. Don't worry about what everyone else is doing. So here's some clips from Brewmaster Yun.
I didn't really care. I just ignored the scores and focused on cooking. I can only do my best. There's lots of Korean cuisine chefs. Venerable Sunjae is the master of temple cuisine, and Chef Im Sung-kyun's incredibly versatile with a vast pool of knowledge. But I knew I had to make something only I could make. So I prepared this little array of bunsik.
Brewmaster Yun explicitly mentioned she ignored what everyone else was doing and their scores. She was plugged into her own cooking and working on presenting something she could only make. So do you see the similarities between Choi Kang-ruk and Brewmaster Yun? Both of these contestants ignored their 3D and had immense faith in their own unique magic sauce. While the other 5 contestants were running around cooking multiple dishes, stressing out, right? You could say they were cooking from a place of already losing, from a point that they were already assuming that another chef would overtake them. So they have to do a lot more, do multiple dishes, because I'm already expecting and predicting that my dish just won't be good enough. And ladies, guess who were the top 2 scores of that challenge? The 2 contestants that used up the entire 3 hours to cook and present just one dish. So Brewmaster Yun scored 180 points.
Culinary Monster is currently in first place with a score of 178 points. The minimum needed to take the lead is 179 points. Now then, please reveal the judges' scores for Brewmaster Yun. Baek Jong-won, 96 points. An Sung-jae, 84 points. With 180 points, Brewmaster Yun has set a new high score. With 180 points, Brewmaster Yun has set a new high score. Brewmaster Yun is currently in first place.
And Choi Kang-ruk scored 185 points. And Choi Kang-ruk was able to secure his spot in the finale of season 2.
Baek Jong-won, 95. An Sung-jae, 90. With a total score of 185 points, Chef Choi Kang-ruk has set a new high score. With a total score of 185 points, Chef Choi Kang-ruk has set a new high score. And so, the winner of Infinite Cooking Heaven is Chef Choi Kang-ruk with the judges' highest score, 185 points.
Whoa. Congrats. Beautiful. I didn't want my spoon to ruin it. My heart was pounding. I didn't know which to choose, you know? Which one of these should I eat next? It was so delicious. I couldn't wait to take the next bite.
That one dish was so good, it made me forget about all the other dishes.
I don't think I've ever been that diligent with my thoughts and movements while I was cooking. I kept fighting back tears. I think I closed my eyes for a moment to keep the tears at bay.
With a total score of 185 points, Chef Choi Kang-ruk has set a new high score.
It feels incredible.
Chef Che Kong-ro, take your nameplate and move to the survivor's seat.
Amazing work!
Congrats! He only made one dish. That's pretty impressive.
I feel great because I feel like I've found some meaning in being here.
So how can we take this example into our everyday lives? So years ago, when I was looking for a job, I knew exactly what I wanted. I wanted a 6-figure job. I wanted it to be hybrid or completely remote, a job where it wasn't stressful. So I set my intention. I knew exactly what I wanted. I went online to Seek.com. So instead of applying to 20 jobs, 50 jobs, 100 jobs, I applied to just one. So this was a job advert that I saw really quickly. It was either the first one I saw or the first few I saw. It was a graphic designer job for a non-profit organization, and they were hiring for their lead designer. So I read through the job requirements, Googled their website to gauge if it was a place that was gonna be stressful or not. So being in the design industry for quite a long time, I just knew what was gonna be easy, what took a lot of creative brain power, and I was wanting to get paid a lot without the stress like a creative agency. So if you don't know, you've never worked at a creative agency, it's never ending work. They give you more and more work. You wanna work slower because they'll just end up giving you more work. So it's actually not good if you are efficient and you are fast at what you do because they'll just give you more and more jobs. And that's a huge reason why I started my own business. So I read through everything and I just knew I got this in the bag, right? I have the wits, I have the experience, the charisma, I've got the design skills. A few days later, I get an email invite for an interview. So I was interviewed by 2 head of departments. So immediately I loved their energy. We got along well. We talked about my love for food, my love for travel, for fitness. The entire interview ended up being mostly about me as a person and less as a designer. Which also, ladies, if you are not inside charisma, get in now, because this is exactly how I've gotten every single job that I've ever applied to, how I make friends, attract opportunities easily, get the jobs that I want easily. Then less than 24 hours, I get another email saying they want me to meet the next higher up manager who oversees everything. So then I hopped on a call with her, and then again, within 24 hours, I get a call from HR saying that I got the job. On the phone, she tells me the job is $95K, but I wanted 6 figures. So then I told her that is lower than what I expected. And I said that I was expecting at least 6 figures. She says, okay, I'll see what I can do. I'll go talk to the head of department. I'm gonna call you back. So then she comes back saying, we are happy to give you a 102K package. I was like, okay, amazing. I'm happy to take the job. By the way, guys, this job was the craziest job I've ever had as an employee, working for an organization. I only had to go in every Wednesday and the rest was work from home. And when I did go in on Wednesdays, the lunches were $6. We would hang out at the site cafe, go for walks at the gardens of the headquarters. We would get treats, chocolate all the time, right? It was more of a social gathering than work on Wednesdays. So I would get paid $8,000 every single week, barely doing any work. Right? And then when I did design, which was from a rested state, a relaxed state, they thought I was Picasso. Like I never had to prove how good I was. I just did what I intuitively felt would meet the goal, the target for the design briefs, from a place of passion, a place of lit up creativity than stress or needing to meet deadlines, right? So they valued me a lot. Do you see that I never competed? I never applied to every job under the sun that I saw online, because that would be me unplugging myself from my power, again, playing in the 3D, which is about proving, suffering, hustling, chasing, applying to 20, 50, 100 jobs. It's like the contestants thinking that they need to make as many dishes as possible to get a higher chance of a higher score. And in my case, a higher chance of getting a 6-figure job, a job that I liked. I didn't need to stress over getting a job. I had this belief that I am of immense value, and I will use my intuition, and it will lead me to what I want with ease. Just like Brewmaster Yun and Choi Kan-rook, they weren't worried about everyone else and their scores and how many dishes they were presenting, right? They just focus on one. They focus on alignment and intentionality, and they both got the 2 highest scores in that challenge, while the other 5 contestants were running around like headless chooks, right? Trying to beat the time, trying to cram in as many dishes as possible, thinking that would get them further. When instead they were cutting corners, they were rushing, right? Their attention to detail fell, which then reflected in their scores. When you are plugged in, ladies, it is about alignment, precision, certainty, conviction. Quantity is never in the mix. It's about potency. You want to do fewer things, but from full presence, right? Like I mentioned, potency beats quantity. For example, one powerful video or just a few powerful videos over 10, 20 frantic ones. So if you do content creation, you're an online coach, you use YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Stop thinking if you post more, you have a higher chance of making more sales. One embodied move over endless planning and doing all of the things. Concentrating on one inspired idea and bringing that to life over 10 unfinished brainstorms. Having only one fully felt manifestation ritual over dozens of mindless manifestation exercises. That is why I tell you, ladies, inside my Get Paid to Exist course, it is not about posting more, doing more things, creating more and more content. You can make 5-figure months by posting 1 or 2 high quality YouTube videos per week. And just like the challenge, the ones who were plugged in didn't cook more. They instead were more present, and their presence is what refined their craft. If you are done with linear growth, slow progress, feeling like you always have to hustle, catch your breath, chase, struggle to get results, right? Running around like a headless chook all the time. My course, Exit the Matrix, is my blueprint to help you step fully into a reality where creation is effortless, where you are superseding fear, logic, the limitations of the 3D, straight into your highest timeline. If you want to learn how to stop reacting to life and instead start commanding it, this is the place to be. We kick off March 30th. Pre-sale is open for enrollment. Last day to enroll at pre-sale is January 31st. Link is down below, ladies, and I'll see you beautiful souls in my next video. Bye.